If upper or lower spears are starting to slow and shudder, the cylinder seals could be failing. This can be caused by water in the air lines. Check the moisture trap on the left side of the trap blaster, and if water is present, have the air dryer serviced immediately. Eventually, spear cylinders will wear out over time and need to be replaced. Call FSX for cylinder replacement. If the spear cylinder stops on the outside, the spear could have traveled past the sensor during the last shutdown. The spear reset function may fix this problem. Engage the spear to move only and use the spear reset switch to recenter the spear between the sensors. If this doesn't fix the problem, open the right side of the cabinet door and locate the stack valve near the bottom of the back wall. There are two blue solenoids on the stack valve that control the upper or lower movements. Swap these two solenoids, and if the problem moves to the opposite spear, then that solenoid needs to be replaced. Call FSX for part replacement. If the above doesn't isolate the problem, then locate the proximity sensor on the spear with the issue. The proximity sensors are located on the yellow motor bracket and look like a chrome threaded bolt with a flat blue bottom. When the black collar is away from the proximity sensor, the light should not be on. If the light is illuminated, replace the proximity sensor. Manually move the guide rod to align the black collar with the proximity sensor and measure the distance between the two. The distance should be no more than 1/8 of an inch. Adjust if necessary. If neither of these solutions solve the problem, call FSX and ask for support. If the left or right positioning switch is not adjusting position, either the switch or the motor has failed, so call FSX to troubleshoot which one. If the rotation table does not turn, unplug the machine. Open the electrical control panel on the front of the trap blaster. Locate fuse number 2 on the green circuit board. Remove and test. If burned or broken, replace with a 3 amp slow blow fuse. One extra is provided inside the control panel. After replacing the fuse, it is recommended to grease the turntable bearing. Refer to the maintenance section of this video for instructions. If this doesn't solve the problem, call FSX support. If the up-down cylinder is falling onto the filter, call FSX for support. If both upper and lower spears are not blowing air after turning air blast switches on, then the door switch is most likely the problem. Open the door and press the switch to see if the air comes on. If not, then check the wiring to see if it is loose and needs to be crimped. Call FSX support with results. If air is leaking out of the main valve, turn the machine on and off a couple of times to see if this fixes the problem. If not, try pressing the manual override button to open and close the valve. If this doesn't work, call FSX support. If the trap tester is reading consistently lower, motor rotation is most likely backwards. To check motor rotation, shine a flashlight into the motor cover down inside the hole. Quickly turn the machine on and off and verify if the motor is turning clockwise like the arrow label. If motor is reversed, have an electrician swap 2 of the 3 hot leads and check again. If the trap burner shows error code 1, call FSX for support. If the machine acts like it wants to turn on, but then it trips the overload, cut the main power using the disconnect lockout switch, open the electrical control box on the right side, locate the thermal overload and press in the blue reset button. Restore power and try again. If this doesn't solve the problem, call FSX support. If the machine will not turn on, verify that both the motor and pulse switches are in the off position before pushing the start button. Call FSX support if this is not the problem.